everyone. This is Sharon with Entelechy Visions, and this is an energy update for the week of November 16th through November 22nd. So we just moved through a powerful passage this past week, and I know I keep saying that this month has really not played around with all of the different alignments that have been influencing. So last week, a lot of shifting took place with the Mars direct, the super new moon. We even had a dose of a lot of solar activity that was thrown into the mix with all of that. So you may have found that a lot was really kicked up, and maybe you were feeling pretty off, a lot of mental chatter, anxiety, maybe challenging to even sleep. This was a very big release point. So the energy shifted quite a bit following this past week. And we really can't go back to the old now. This is a new chapter. This is a new time, a new experience. And it's as though we've almost turned a corner. We've turned a page almost. And you may even be feeling it in the air, that some kind of levity or some kind of hope or light at the end of the tunnel feels a little bit more tangible. I know things may not seem so in the world, but there is this element that a page has been turned. And this is showing up within our own personal lives. You may find that now emerges a sense of divine timing or a perfection in your life of maybe a new opportunity or something that is arising for you of sharing more of yourself in the world, or sharing more of a different side of yourself. Maybe it is a project or an ability or a skill that you have now grown into as a result and a product of this entire year. We truly can't share all of ourselves, or we can't share ourselves if we are only half formed, or if we have not fully transformed throughout that growth process. In other words, a butterfly cannot emerge if it has not been fully formed in that cocoon. So divine timing really plays a crucial role for things. And we can really look back on the course of this year. I know we still have an entire month to move through, but we are winding down on this really, really wild year that we've been through. And you may find that that sense of reflection is now kind of emerging from you, that you are looking back on all that has transpired and all that has changed for you, all that has changed in the world, and how we even began this year and how it looks now is really quite different. So if we can look at that and see how much of a purpose it has held on many different levels, and we may not fully understand what that full purpose is for a long time, but we can see that a lot of challenge and a lot of courage and bravery and withstanding the storm, being vigilant, being adaptable, being accepting, and being patient has really emerged new levels of ourselves. It has really asked us to grow in ways that we haven't as a collective, maybe for a very long time. So we are all very new now, and this new form is perfect timing. This season is really asking us to step up and rise up to a new potential that we could not have come to without the many challenges, without the many layers and the friction of this year. So with this new potential, it's almost like the roof has been lifted, the ceiling has been taken off, and it is shining a light on these new aspects of ourselves, this evolved way. as we've moved through the rebirthing, transforming season of Scorpio and integrated a lot of that, we are now shifting seasons and we are now birthing this new self. And it's asking us to maybe be honest with ourselves and to shed some dead weight in our lives of maybe something that's not needed anymore. Because when we walk into a new chapter, we walk into a new way, or we share more of ourselves, and this can come up often as themes throughout the years, but this feels much more significant because we have been through a really, really powerful journey, and it has completely transformed us into something that we've really never been before. And so it has evoked these qualities within ourselves, within the collective, to be completely new. And when we stand in that newness, we stand in that sovereignty, and we worked through some of those fears maybe this past week or so of what that means for us, then we are shining a light on this new way of being, but also allowing us to be truthful of what needs to go, what needs to pass, what needs to be surrendered, almost like taking off the weights from a boat or lifting up an anchor from a boat so that it can move forward, so that it can propel and have that momentum return. So those weights being symbolic of what needs to be cut, what needs to be walked away from, what needs to be released, or what needs to change and transform into something new so that it feels more in alignment with that forward path. So this birth of the new you is really revealing to you your own potentials. It's revealing to you something that you may not have even realized that you could be. An expansion, in a way, that maybe that door of this new you or this new opportunity was hidden from this point onward. Maybe it was something that it could not be revealed up until this point. And so now we're being shown this new door. We're being shown this new self, this new potential, and it's ready to be revealed. And so it is time to open that door. And even if you don't know what that is, maybe that's something that's not even tangible. Maybe it's something that you are just embracing about yourself that is emerging. Maybe it's a personality quality. Maybe it's a talent that has emerged. Or maybe it's a complete different shift in how you are approaching your relationships or your job. Maybe you are ready to leave a position or change it or evolve it somehow. So all these many things can apply to this kind of new birth, this new cycle. We can almost look back upon this year as a sense of a hero's journey. And if you have not heard of the hero's journey, it's a pretty common concept that it's threaded throughout the entire movie lines, storylines, books. The hero's journey is about a hero that embarks upon a quest. And the quest is needed in order to gain something. Maybe that is a beloved, maybe that is a tool or a lesson. They embark upon this testing and extremely challenging journey where they are not only moving forward toward their destination, but they are completely transforming themselves along the way. And this is a storyline that is threaded through so much in our culture and many cultures. And it really shines a light on how the journey itself is necessary in order to completely shift someone, to have the challenge and the tests become the initiation that evokes a new level of the self. And so, upon the actual journey, the individual is being primed for the destination to be able to be ready for that gift or that tool or their beloved or whatever lies at the end of that journey, so that they are ready for it. And so we can look at 2020 in a way as this quality of the hero or heroine's journey, that we have been moving through such powerful tests and initiations. But along the way, we have been transformed from the trials. We have been changed from the hardship. And we have emerged into something new that we didn't even know that we were before, because it wasn't there. And so, yes, this has been an extremely challenging year. But this season is really asking us to look at the qualities that have emerged under the pressures that we have been living under. Because with strength and endurance, it shows us that we do have so much more within us that is possible. And we may have even surprised ourselves this year of how we endured, of how we made it through, of the strength that we found even in our darkest moments. And we are still moving through it. But there is this, as I mentioned, that light at the end of the tunnel, this turning of a corner, turning of a page. And as we move into this season, we will be leaving Scorpio season this week, which has been a lot about that underworld journey and has been a lot about relationships as well. So we've kind of been under the spotlight and the themes of the relationship journey the last couple months. So we'll finally get a reprieve from that. And this month or this week, we'll be looking more at a sense of hope. Sagittarius is all about finding that revived hope, a better future, what is possible, moving towards potentials, kind of thinking of an image of keeping your eye on a North Star. So looking up to the stars and keeping that light alive in the sense of darkness. So with that, the holidays also evoke that too. So we can feel inspired in this time. I know the holiday seasons may feel weird and off this year, but it's a good reminder that we can keep that light alive within the greatest of darkness. And that is a really powerful theme to focus on at this time. We will have a quickening in the second half onward towards the end of the year, so the second half of this month. So you'll find that the pace really picks up as we have gone through that release this past week, and it really will propel us forward for the rest of this year. So you'll find that the momentum really picks up pace the rest of November and even into December, as all of that will really be part of eclipse season that we'll be moving through. And although we don't have our eclipse yet until the end of this month, around the 30th, we are already feeling that energy moving in. And the second half of the eclipse season will be in December, and December will be a very, very powerful month as well. So we have some interesting energy this week, but it feels very hopeful in a sense, and it allows us to feel that kind of sense of exhale after we have been clenched and stressed for a very, very long time. So even if things are still happening in the world, still happening in your life that are challenging, we can add this level of hope to it that kind of keeps us afloat throughout the remainder of this year. So I'd like to offer you the channeled message for this week, and just to remind you to keep that strength, that hope, and that light alive within you. This is a time of reshaping, like a puzzle that was left undone, now needing finalization. Maybe turning it around to see it from a different perspective. Where do these pieces fit? What parts of your life are needed restructuring to pull in a grander view of the whole picture? You are the Grand Master, shaping your own picture, highlighting what you truly desire to come to fruition. If ever there was a moment to embrace your mastery, it is now. You have evolved, and this is evident in all areas of your life. Let this be the truth you align your next life pieces toward. So I leave you with that message for this week. I invite you to like and subscribe to this channel, as it does help to support the channel. I do have a couple announcements for the holiday season. I'm extending our remote 45-minute tune-up session toward the end of the year, until the end of the year. So if you are interested in that, you can visit enteleckyvisions.com and learn more about that there. You can also find our in-person and remote sessions there as well. I hope that you have a wonderful week ahead, and I thank you for listening.